that the Carlton fans can look forward to watching tonight.
Cameron Ling, 4 #1 draft picks, reads nicely, doesn't it?
Oh, it certainly does. There's no doubt about that. But Richo makes a really good point with Carlton. Can they score enough? For Richmond, I reckon the same questions there. Can they kick enough goals? They defended well last year. Here we go. We'll find out.
Thursday night football. Down goes Kerridge. Cruiser won the first tap. This is Gibbs towards half forward. Graham gets on the end of it. So Carlton immediately on the move. Probing kick inside the forward 50. Casbolt in front. Asprey knocked away. This is right in the right full forward pocket. And he misses. Minor score. Tigers haven't touched the footy.
Ex-Crow. One of the 15 that have come to the club, one way or another. A couple of free agents, 5 traded. The draft pick, including the #1, Wiedering out there tonight. And as Dennis said, 4 #1s playing tonight. In Graham, so a couple of early touches. Good tackle from Lambert, sort of whipped it off him. That's a strong tackle from Cruiser. And he's rewarded.
Well, there wasn't too much prior opportunity there, was there, for the Richmond skipper?
Thanks, Trent.
Didn't have a lot of time at all.
Thank you, Trent. Give it back now.
So it's Gibbs that gets it, and then kicks to full forward. Hampson's got back, the former Blue, at the back right again, so he's been busy. Caught up, though. Strong tackle coming from
Easy, guys.
Rioli.
Straight up. Watch the heads. Watch the heads. Coming out behind.
Umpires tonight, Stevic, Clear, and Mitchell. Hampson.
Me.
Down to Ellis. Brandon Ellis kicks it out of there, not very far though. Kerridge, fine pre-season. Murphy, no pre-season, to the pocket. Bocourt still going, well played a couple of times. Boot to ball, not quite. Rolls away from him. Rolling in there is Lamb. He's tackled immediately. And we'll get a ball up, I think. Dangerous territory, this.
It's a hot ball early. Great work by Cruiser and Gibbs there on Trent Cotchin. Last time he was out on the MCG, didn't have a great day. They need to get inside his head early, make sure he has a tough night.
McIntosh played them all last year as a first year, so Martin gets it outside the 50. Good mark by Doherty. They come back, the Blues, to reset. That's what this season's all about, isn't it, in the future? So Simpson from half-back, straight to full forward. It was a probing kick, but Asprey was the only one that really went and took the mark against Casbolt.
Take him out, Dustin.
Had a good pre-season too. Oft injured. Only 4 games from memory last season. Kicks it short of the wing. Revolt was in front. Jamison pumped it away, and that's got to be a free. Irish whip into the cross buckle. Can't do that. Walker, anything but, runs on, sends it down towards full forward, setting himself in front. Rance falls to Ellis. Ellis got it away to Hooley. Hooley back to Grimes. Awkward one, bounce back over his head. Almost a chance for redemption there for Walker. He enjoyed that tackle. Still working on it too, just the finishing touches. Meantime, Murphy bursts away, goes towards half forward. Oh, nice. Levi levitates. Takes the mark about 35 metres out.
He's such a big target. They've gone for Levi 2 or 3 times already. They don't mind kicking the ball in long on that occasion. Just got a little bit of space between him and his opponent to take an uncontested mark. But they're not scared to kick the ball long and direct inside their forward 50, the Blues.
Casbolt. He could kick straight and kick along. What a man up forward he could be. Well, still a bit of work. A work in progress. It's just slipped through for a behind, but it was a long kick.
Those kicks that you're talking about, Duck, they have been bombing them in a little bit. I like it, though. Get it inside forward 50 as quickly as they can. It took Mark Murphy's class to just be able to lower the eyes a bit, hit up Casbolt then.
So it was Rance to Martin, and then Martin to centre wing. And Simpson pushed as he kicked, and it's out on the full. So Martin to bring it back in.
Already we can see Carlton's defensive pressure across the ground. They're very well organised here at ground level. You can really see what they're trying to do early.
So Grimes, just the short one.
That's one of the new rules.
The 10-metre protected area.
He went on the angle rather than from east to west, so he's got to go directly across the ground. He cribbed slightly, and you can see here, just slightly goes on that angle, and the umpire's pinged him.
They're going to have to pick up on that one quick, aren't they, Doug? Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of 50s and a lot of frustrated coaches.
I think he was confused by the Great Southern Stands.
So he's not another goal kicker, just a couple in his career. Can he get the trip here, or does he just set it up, Grimes? Is he going to go for it? He is, and he won't add to those couple. One of the two last year, so
Thanks, Jack. That's fine there.
no damage done for the Blues.
Straight across here.
Crowd building, perfect night for footy in Melbourne. This traditional clash between these two big Melbourne clubs.
Best and fairest All-Australian. Alex Rance pinpoints it. Lambert charging up the ground, takes the mark. Did he go off? That's got to be 50 then. Whoa. How does that work, Duck? Well, that's 50. That's okay.
That's 50 every day of the week. That was 50 last year. Gibbs comes in.
He was trying.
The player.
Gibbs was trying to get to Martin. He's trying to sell the umpire now. I'm trying to get to Martin, who was looking for the handball.
What did Lambert have to do with it then? I thought for a moment it wasn't going to be 50. You hear the umpire sounding off. There goes the Lambert kick, and he puts it through. Tigers lead. Well done by Lambert, coming off a very good season. The longer it went, the better he got. And that's a question mark over them, their midfield. Of course, Delidio not playing tonight. And if you think back to last year, at the opening bounce, he got reported.
Well, no rule changes needed for this one. That is just 50 metres. That was last year. That was 100 years ago. Don't know what Bryce Gibbs was thinking.
So he gets the first assist this year, gives him the goal. So Lambert, the goal scorer. Carlton had started pretty well here. Remember last year they had the good lead against the Tigers. Into that second term. Phillips, Hampson wins it clearly. Miles, such a good clearance player, not this time. Quick kick forward, coming from Kerridge, the former Crows. Had a really good pre-season. Graham just the fumble. Walker, Doherty. It's a bit of a hot handball. Then Doherty may get the free for holding. No. Well done by Cripps. Back to Walker, and then Walker looking for Gibbs. Rance was fantastic. Left his man and took the intercepting mark.
That's why he's All-Australian. That's why he's the champion that he is. He doesn't just spoil, he doesn't just negate his opponent, but he does that very well. He marks the footy, sets up attacking options.
Martin to midfield. Grimes. Alex was once Murray's son. As the ball comes down towards half forward, getting high was Revolt. The hand pass was quick. Corey Ellis gets a second chance after some hard work in there from Lloyd. Now it's with Hooley. Goes long down towards the pocket. Rowe knocked away down there, but Rowe will get a free kick connected around the shoulder and head. So Rowe wasting no time is away.
It's one of his strengths, Dennis. He's a really good one-on-one player, Rowe. Simpson able to work it wide. They've done all right. Kerridge. Neat kick to Phillips. These new guys for the Blues. Now, how quickly can he get it on, and how long will he go? Everett short from if he wants him.
Casbolt long.
So Casbolt is the target. Worked his way into a pretty good spot. Wide. Gibbs hooking back, gets it to the top of the goal square. Bockhurst, well done though.
Oh, well
getting away from Ellis. It was Cripps. Townsend down low. So Miles' hands are good, and the Tigers get the advantage. It was a scrappy old kick to centre wing.
Came from Rioli. Looking forward to watch him develop. There's Cochin, got it from Lambert, goes short to Edwards, man on over the top. Griffiths running to space, can move inside the 50 and slot it long. And the longest man is Menadue. Menadue, don't do that.
Well, I'm not sure you want to pass it from there, Den. Top of the square.
Selfless.
That's the one where you do the pretend look, isn't it, Duck? I'll try and get to you, but sorry, no, I'll go back and have my shot.
That was great fat side run from Menadue. He's got really good endurance, and he made a long run from the middle of the ground to get on the end of that.
Should kick it. Not 20 metres out. Tigers have their second. They lead by 10.
second season. It's a good build-up by the Tigers. So they've been able to find some targets inside their forward 50.
Well, this is what Richo was talking about, the transition of the footy down one side of the ground. Connor Menadue, hard work on the other side of the ground to get on the end of that. That's just elite running, as Richo mentioned, an elite aerobic athlete. Going to be important for the Tigers this year.
Miles, Martin, good hands by Martin. Griffiths, such a long kick if he wants to. Gets it to about 20 metres. Rowe already set himself, couldn't take the mark. Revolt, clever looking kick, doesn't quite get the bounce. Ball still in play, still in play. McIntosh had it smothered. Well done, Curnow belts it away outside the defensive 50. One-on-one important hit. Grimes wants the line, and a couple of Carlton players clean one another up in a boundary throw-in.
Thank you. Keep your cool, Kate.
Lamb there.
Carlton free kick. Not on. Not on. Take the free kick. Take it. Not on. Not on.
So Lamb from half-back.
Move it on.
Would have been together at GWS. Lamb from right half-back, out of the wing. Rance, well, he used the body. He's been penalised for that, I think. Used his chest on the man in front. Sometimes you get away with that. So Casbolt on the wing. 9 Carlton players haven't had a possession yet. There's Kerridge, only 3 for Richmond. Kerridge looking inside a forward line that's pretty crowded. Former Crow, former Indigo Pioneer, kicks it down towards the pocket, off hands towards the boundary. Griffiths, Phillips on top, and the ball rolls out of bounds.
He's got a good leg, hasn't he, Kerridge? I mean, that was effortless. Kicked it about 55 metres. This was the 2 ex-GWS boys. Of course, Lamb from Sydney as well before that. And the free. So Carlton forward 50. Martin had a lot of the ball. Most of it in the back half, though, so far tonight, and that one will come back.
Yep. I'm narrow. Hold. I'm narrow. Hold there.
Such a weapon, isn't he? Now Murphy will probably set it up, and he does to full forward. Always thinking a Cruiser or a Casbolt. Aspie to bang it away. Not a great kick. Murphy on the end of it, goes short to the pocket. And Wright protected it.
2 metres, please.
And that's the one where they're lowering their eyes, Lingy. They have to use that one. They can't always bomb it. If they always bomb it, then it'll come out just as quick. But I like the fact that they're moving the ball quickly, getting it in there long. They're getting a contest. And now they're being able to hold it in and get a second opportunity at a shot at goal.
Originally from Walkerville in South Australia. It's been a famous footy club over the years in the amateurs, and then with North Adelaide. Tucked away in the pocket. Good looking kick, just fading at the end. So Wright's had a couple of shots on goal, and the Blues still without a major.
Well, and that's been the worry, hasn't it, Bruce? 9-5 of the inside 50. So Carlton actually dominating the ball inside their forward 50, inside their forward half of the ground. Just can't get that goal. Can't get any real fluent attacking movement going once they do get their hands on the footy.
Hooley to the outer side, clears the pack. Curnow first back, lacking support. Jamison back to a hot Curnow, on his knees right. Curnow, third attempt, off the fingertips of McIntosh, and it goes out.
And Lingy, your point there, in 2 of their NAB Cup games, the game against Hawthorn in Launceston, the first one, and the Sydney game, they actually won the time in forward half, so they've been able to press up and hold it in. It's just getting the score on the board.
Cruiser, clever. Kerridge, high ball, centering ball. Grimes almost, Phillips behind. Tui under pressure, clever kick. That's why he was third in the best and fairest last season. Tui. That was a beauty. Squeezing it through. And Bolton liking that one.
That is a clever kick. Good call, Dennis. Great vision, great execution. I've liked what Phillips has done so far too, getting around the ground, competed in the air. Also good on the deck there, giving the hands off to Zach Tui.
So Lamb. There's the rundown. Most getting close to a goal again. So he knows how to kick one. And this one is okay. His first is a blue. All about the kick from Tui. Playing game number 99. Pushing up. He's grown in confidence. He was a little hit or miss the first 50 games or so, but given his background, that was understandable. There hasn't probably been an Irish player who's kicked the ball any better than Tui. In fact, a lot of Australians and other players from all over the world defer to him close to goal.
Time to jump and the footy.
So reward for effort for the Blues here.
Yeah, they needed that one. Been getting the ball in, as Ling and Rich have been saying, inside that forward 50. You have to get reward for getting the ball in there.
So Lamb, the scorer. Cripps, well done. Rode it well. Flashing tackle off the back on Murphy.
Stand up, let it go, let it go. Let it go this way.
Came from nowhere.
Good takes the shoulders out.
Murphy, of course, had some surgery. Missed the last couple of games last year.
Richmond! Came from nothing, Josh. Richmond, let it go. Richmond free. It's a free kick. Made by the out of zone free. Hold. Hold. Stay there, Paddy.
So McIntosh just spreads it to Vlodston. Gets it wider to Morris, and Morris decides to go long to the pocket. Hard one for Vickery to get back and behind.
Thanks, Ty.
Vickery, big off-season, of course, got married. And then the UFO incident over in Perth. All good.
Up in front, Phillips, off hands, falls to Graham. Taken down very strongly by Lambert. Got the opening goal for the Tigers. And Lamb getting the opening goal for Carlton. Make of it what you will. Knocked down by Griffiths. Kerridge. The ball's out of bounds. Kerridge has started well, 5 possessions.
He's been very good, Sam Kerridge. Just watching Trent Cotchin there, the Richmond skipper. We spoke a lot about his last game here at the MCG. Only the one disposal so far, so struggling to have an impact on this game early on. I just wonder if he's thinking a bit too much about how much of the footy he's got to find, rather than just doing the simple things well. He's given away a free kick there to Mark Murphy at the moment. Murphy having the better of the duel of the captains.
So it takes Cotchin on Murphy. Dockley, they've run themselves into a bit of a problem. Okay, now Graham, Lamb, good hands from right, clever by Lamb, doesn't sit, well done Vlodston, had it a little while, but given some leniency, and why not? Good play by Murphy, sort of whipped it off Martin able to get it back to Minanju, already with a goal, gets it to Vickery, it's a good kick, and the big fella timed it perfectly.
Going to be a 50.
50 metres. Time. 50. Time. Your ball. 50 metres. 50 metres.
He's behind the play. Jack.
Just let us control it, mate. Right. 50.
This would be annoying for the coaching staff, wouldn't it? I mean, 2 50-metre penalties. Gibbs was sort of weird, and this one careless.
Stay out.
Vickery gets his first, and the Tigers get their third.
50-metre penalty. There's a free kick there, there's a free kick on this. So the free kick gets advanced 50 metres. You stay in through.
Just the explanation there.
Vickery had the mark, but just watch the top of your screen. This is why the 50-metre penalty. There it is, right there. Sam Rowe's arm on Jack Riewoldt. We've got our super spy cam out tonight, so we're watching for little incidents like that one, but that's a clear 50-metre penalty.
Not such a good bounce. Umpire will do it again. Still, only the first game. Ground looks a picture on the way down. Hampson, Kerridge finding a lot of it. Missed it that time though. Miles in the opposite direction. Simpson floats one up towards the wing, and Corey Ellis takes a very good mark. There's a left footer. And on the mark tested there, he went north-south, or whatever it's supposed to be. Here's White. Hand passes back to Doherty. Doherty across the ground of the pocket. Just almost reached the man. Didn't quite. Inadvertently struck him as Curnow was that man. He comes away. Gave it to Cripps. Now running is Gibbs. Gibbs goes towards the outer side. Bokhorst measures the kick and does it beautifully. You can see him scanning up ahead there, and Walker has this football. He decides to go back to Gibbs. He was involved moments ago across half back.
If they can move it like that, Duck, they'll score.
Well, that's the key, wasn't it? Hitting their target, speed of ball movement. Really caught Richmond behind the 8 ball. They're able to get in behind their defenders. So Walker had all of that space to run back into inside forward 50.
So Bryce Gibbs, just the 10 games last season. And the best and fairest the season before. Side down by 10 points. Rance, as he always does, working hard on the mark. To no effect this time. Lovely kick. That was slick around the outer side. They moved it quickly. And you get the feeling, and I'll get Lingy's take on this in just a moment, but they are prepared to take some risks. They're tossing the ball around. We saw evidence of that just about 3 or 4 minutes ago in the centre square when they virtually played on out of nothing. And they were tossing it around at close quarters. And one errant kick coming out the other side actually brought them undone. But they were trying something.
You're right, Dennis. It's exciting footy at the moment because Carlton are prepared to take the game on, move it quickly, and they did that then. If they keep doing that and executing well, they'll score. They'll definitely score enough. A couple of skill errors have hurt them, but good play by Carlton in this first quarter.
Cripps was terrific. Gibbs wide to Graham, to Tui. Talked about his prowess as a kick. Gets it long. Walker's in a good spot here. Engaged. Great mark. Well done. That long kick.
Absolutely. Once again got in behind his defender, but really clever use of the body too, Bruce. No hands, just use of the body, put his backside, look at that, protected the space behind, and in the end, it's an easy mark.
How good was Cripps in the middle again there. And going back to that previous goal, Wiedering actually started it all half back and it finished with Gibbs. 2 blokes are 10 years apart with the number 1s. So Walker, a number 2 himself, kicked over 50 goals in 2011. The only bloke since Fev in 2009 to do that, and that's a poor result. Had to nail it, didn't he?
It's a poor finish, but what they've been able to do in the last 5 minutes is just really use precision, kicking it to their teammates' advantage. Makes a massive difference when you hit your targets.
Bring it in now.
So Hurley to himself, runs to the pocket, takes something off this kick, glides it towards the outer side. Vickery was up, couldn't hang on. The ball goes out of bounds. McIntosh goes to ground. Vickery has kicked the goal.
Walk away.
Townsend and Walker, both with short fuses. For the boundary throw in. Richmond by 3. Clears the pack. Bokhorst flips a hand pass away to Gibbs. Knew where the help was. Back to Bokhorst. Runs down towards right half forward. Centering ball. Reaching over the top, Asprey. Loose at the back, Everett. Slips a hand pass to Cruiser. Cruiser snaps the big guy. Oh, how nimble was that? It's great to see him back. Finished the season strongly last year. Few players are as wholehearted as Matthew Cruiser. There's just something about when you watch him, he does inspire you. He just works so hard. Not always for much return, but never gives up. And that was very skillful.
It was a great call, Dennis, because not too many guys of his size could get his foot to that and get it back on that angle. Really clever goal by a guy of that height.
So the number 1 draft picks are hitting the scoreboard here. Talked about the fact they've got 4 out there tonight. Hanson. It's in the back.
Push in the back. Richmond. It's a push in the back. Let him up. Stay out.
The good and bad with Gibbs so far tonight. The 50-metre penalty, the goal at the other end, and a fair bit of the ball. So Ellis goes to Vickery again. Rowe pushed him out. Edwards cleverly done. goal. We know he's a fine player, which is in doubt tonight. To talk about blokes being a bit of a barometer, I feel like Edwards is a bit of a barometer for this team.
Yeah, I get the feeling they think that he can go to a whole new level this year, Bruce.
Well, he's the right age, he's had the right experience, if the body holds up, why not?
It's round one, bit of feeling in this one. Dusty Martin getting amongst it, Sam Doherty as well. Footy's back, Duck, that's what we love to see. Blood rule now for Richmond coming off the ground.
Jacob Townsend, I think he might have a few blood rules.
He's got himself involved as well. Rich over. Let's have another look at the Shane Edwards goal. This is what he can do. Up forward, only a fraction of a second to kick that goal. He's a quality player. If he kicks 30 goals for the year, 35 goals, Duck, that's a huge, huge step for Richmond making the top four.
He's the Tigers' wing guard. He could be a super player.
Broke his leg round 15 last year. Looked at a serious shoulder injury a couple of weeks back against Port. There he is again in the action. Wiles got it across to Cochin in the opposite direction, Kerridge. Martin working hard, stolen away by Gibbs, then he dropped it. Rioli didn't know where it was. Gibbs on his feet. Cruiser latches on as well. Well, makes your night, tackled by two number ones.
Let him up, easy, let him up. Let him up.
Bit of quality, eh? Kerridge just the worst for wear. The back of the pack, you can see. Jim Martin was so clever a moment ago, the way he tapped it away from Kerridge, who had control. Well done, Hampson. Gibbs in it a lot. Toe poke forward. Casbolt. Murphy's been busy enough. That's a neat kick, and it's set for Buckley. Rance, well, should have given away a free kick, Rance. Thought he caught him high, to be honest, and then runs the ball out.
Oh, how good was that? How good was that?
Well done, Alex Rance. Well done, Dylan Buckley as well, though. He's a lot smaller, did not take a backward step, but Rance saved his teammate then.
It's courage in a different way. It's courage to leave your opponent inside 50 all by himself and get up there and put pressure on the player about to receive the ball.
Two sons of guns, eh? Menadue, Murphy, ditto. He was taken down, making a free kick here, Murphy. And Rance didn't raise the arms. He kept them by his side. That's how disciplined he was. It was just marvellous. So Murphy set on the angle.
No more than that.
He's been good, given his lack of football. Runs around, kick is on the way. Touch of class, there's plenty of class. Cruiser got the last one, and now Murphy.
That is a huge captain's goal, that one, Doug. Gets Carlton in front. They've had a lot of play this quarter. Outstanding by Mark Murphy. Hasn't played a game this pre-season. That's going to test the shoulders. That is a big goal.
And that was a perfect example of the new rules. The 10-metre rule, you can see, able to run around, give himself, open up the angle of the goals. Easy goal for a class player like Murphy. We spoke about the two captains in the countdown. Hasn't Murphy been fantastic at the start of this game? So important that he was, and he's done it.
And Cochin only the one disposal. So definitely Mark Murphy taking the points in this first quarter. Good call, Doug.
And those number ones keep kicking goals for the Blues, don't they? They've been hitting the scoreboard. So terrific effort by their captain, Miles. Good clearance, Lambert, the first goal scorer of the season. Short to Martin. Not far enough. He's a hard man to bring down, but it was a good tackle. Cripps getting in. Graham, little give, Kerridge.
No, you bumped him in the back. You bumped him in the back. Stay there.
Got to be happy for a Carlton supporter right now. It's a long way to go, I know, but the signs are very good. Here's Gibbs. A bit sloppy, the kick. Everett has to hold it up. He's in trouble. Goes backwards. That was clever. Gibbs off a step, bangs it forward. Bockus decided to wait for it. Might have been the right call in the end. Walker, Ellis wraps him up. Ball not out. He's in trouble, I think. No, ball up.
Stand up, thanks.
Two coaches. Brendan Bolton, by the way, was supposed to join us for the pre-match. He was so in the moment that he forgot all about it. They've been great all week, the Blues.
There'd be a million things going through his head.
But just watching him a moment ago, he's riding a bump, wasn't he? Here's Cripps. 55 metres out, pulls it down towards full forward. Asprey gets back and takes the mark. Kicked 3 goals on debut against Melbourne. Many years back now, as I mentioned earlier, frequently injured. Rance on the outer side.
East West. Hang on.
It's back inside the forward 50 marked by Lambert. That was in his first game, Asper. Lambert, who started well, haven't seen much of him lately. Told to go. Some hesitation, which means good coverage down the ground by Carlton. That would delight the coach, but Rance will find a way through. Lostone is away. Wow. He forgot to press send. It's close to the boundary. Rebold over the top. McIntosh, who delighted us on debut in this game last year. He was pushed as he kicked. It'll be a Richmond ball.
Pushing the back. Straight away.
Lloyd will get it.
Just see it.
Such a good kick, Lloyd, but he'll set it up to full forward. Vickery front. Oh, was it? Edwards, it was. It was a huge fly at the back. Couldn't quite bring it in. Doherty, lovely kick. Gets it wide to row. Spoke to Brendan Bolton during the week and he said Doherty plays footy like a coach. He said he just reads it so well. That's the reason they put him in the leadership. One of the reasons in the leadership squad. Had a fine season last year. Rose kicked to centre wing. Lamb. Graham worked it well. Curnow. Graham under pressure. Martin went hip and shoulder rather than the tackle. And now they wrap him up. Lostone involved as well.
Let it go.
Cripps front and centre as he so often is, the youngster. And it'll be a better one.
Entertaining quarter this one. Phillips to the wrong man. Lambert tries to wriggle free. Curnow. Great tackle.
Such an impressive quarter of footy from Carlton so far. They had all the play early, didn't make the most of it. But gee, they've been good ever since. Tackled hard. They've just got to finish it now, not concede a late goal.
Sorry, Cam. Lambert drives it forward. Down towards the pocket. The mark is taken by White. White wants to go. Simpson. Fine season last year. Comes in short. This is Toohey. Zach Toohey. Left half back. Everett. Leading goal scorers. If you jump it over. No, it's a mark. Clock is running down to quarter time. 32 seconds of playing time as this high one goes over the wing. Casbolt launches himself, knocked down by Asprey. Off the ground, he comes straight to right. Kerridge. Still time for Carlton. No. It's a short 32. Cripps has got it. But too late. So at quarter time on Friday Night Football, the underdogs on top. Carlton a 4-4. Richmond a 4-1. Enjoying this one. 3 points the difference.
Mark of the year. So Koch had such a slow start tonight.
Yeah, he's been very quiet, and I'm going to keep a close eye on him. I don't know what he's doing to not get himself in the game. Only the 2 disposals so far. He's got to start having an impact on this one because Mark Murphy and Bryce Gibbs, they've been terrific for the Blues.
Second term begins then at the MCG. Cruiser tries to backhand it down. Townsend is claimed. Cruiser like lightning when he hit the deck there with the tackle.
Thank you.
He's got the appetite for it. Great goal in the first quarter.
The meter. Matt, step away.
Hampson. Martin. 8 possessions in the first quarter.
King straight away.
Then the umpire. So
here we go.
Stevic will toss it up in the outer circle. Hampson emphatically. Cochin. Well, it bounced away from him. Cripps. Jamison. And now Curnow.
Gets it to half forward. Good kick. And Casbolt a fair way from home, but takes a strong mark. How quickly can he move it on? He goes to the pocket. And well done by Grimes, just getting it away and getting it out of play.
Very good spoil by Grimes there, because it was a nice kick by Casbolt. Looked to be to the advantage of Lamb. Just got the low fist in. That's good quality defensive play.
And that's really his trademark, isn't it? I mean, that's probably the thing he is best known for. Cruiser doing a bit of roving. Here's Cochin. Good to see him getting a kick away in the back half.
Contact, Carlton.
Hey guys, the other player Richmond got into play is Miles. Hasn't touched the footy yet. He's a player that gets them going in close.
So Doherty, Toohey. Yeah, he's got Simpson in the half-forward flank. It's a beautiful kick. Simpson got the length here.
Yeah, from there. Oh, he's not going to try.
Well, we've got Curnow not giving Cochin any room, and then you've got Murphy, who gets an uncontested mark and a shot at goal.
pretty good goal kicker against the Tigers, Murphy. Averages about a goal a match against Richmond. Well under that career-wise. Can he hit the board for the second time here? 5 times he's kicked 2 goals against Richmond in his career. Coming back, no, just a hook all the way. So disappointing result. Good build-up. But Murphy's been terrific.
Hooley rushes to the pocket. Revolt in front. Made the mark and well, it's a free kick.
Play on. Yours.
This one down towards half forward. Lloyd getting some space. Good juggled mark. Long way up the ground. It's inside the forward 50. Griffiths will need to double back. Jamison, brilliant. Down to Wiedering, the lookalikes. Weghorst, short one. Casbolt. They're playing with confidence. Cripps waits for Casbolt to run. Not the best kick in the world, but good hands. Good hands can save a bad kick. Comes back towards the middle. Try saving that. Martin missed it. Curnow. Now Tui. Can he get away? Oh, terrific stuff. Grabbed the hand-passing arm, did Rioli. And suddenly Zach couldn't go forward. Rioli, about 55 metres out. The cousin of Cyril sends it long down towards full forward. Thumped away down there by Wiedering. Opportunity in front for Jamison. Falls to Townsend. And his kick is wayward and out of bounds on the full.
Got to love this from Daniel Rioli. That's what the Tigers fans want to see from him. Still got a small body and he's going to build into a mature adult football body eventually. But when he's new to the scene, that's what he can do straight away. Speed, tackling, put that pressure on. Just starting to get a few Carlton defenders nervous.
Yeah, well, that's what his cousin does best, isn't it? Only little.
His uncle wasn't bad at tackling either, was he?
No.
In the same jumper, the same number. So what a big night for him, along with Jacob Wiedering, the 2 debutants tonight for opposite teams, both 18 years of age. Wiedering, in fact, 18 for the whole season. Cruiser probably just won it. Gibbs held on to Curnow. Murphy's so busy. But that one, a bit of a waste. Asprey. And Ellis goes back to Ellis. High numbers for Ellis. All through the last few seasons. Had a lot of consecutive matches now. Gets to McIntosh.
He's at left half back, McIntosh. Thursday night footy at the G. He's all back and rolling as the ball goes down towards half forward. In from the side, the big leap came from Asprey. Doherty advances the ball, did well. Wittering's in trouble, taken down strongly by Edwards. Ball is in there somewhere. I had a perfect view of that about 10 metres away. Didn't think it was too aggressive. Ruckman lock up. Neither one touched it. Cripps so adept at getting the arms free. Doherty slips it away. Cruiser, thumping hand pass. And now Murphy looks towards the middle. Doesn't go long. What will Gibbs do here? Finesses. Did pretty well. Although it flicks out towards Rance. McIntosh and now Cochin. Cochin short. Not 15. McIntosh caught napping. Caught. That's holding the footy right. Got him dead to rights.
Wasn't 15 metres.
At the point.
Cruiser, 3rd man up, Cripps. Martin tucked it under his arm, belts the ball out wide. Minanju and Bockhurst, who couldn't win it. Bockhurst engaged early, then Minanju hung on, then Bockhurst hangs on. Good umpiring, I reckon, let it go. Bockhurst hands over the top. Martin, and rather, Hooley gets involved in a boundary throw-in. A couple of featherweights at one another. There wasn't quite Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali, but it was pretty good.
No, a little bit of holding either way, but as you said, a good contest.
You'd want either of those fresh, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'd be squawking all afternoon.
Yes,
balls,
one each.
Balls down in front. Was there a first one? That's the question. Miles under there, and we're going to ball up.
I think one of the most impressive things about Carlton tonight so far, at no stage in this game so far have Richmond had any control of the tempo of the game. They do like to play that way, and Carlton have done really well to not allow that.
So Cruiser coming off. There's a man who knows the Medicare number off by heart. He's had his share of injuries. This is just a minor one, just a scratch.
And Richo, you'd know better than anyone with the Deledio factor that they've only won 2 out of 13, I think, when he hasn't played, and they've been against Brisbane. This is, for a long stretch now.
Yeah, he doesn't miss a lot of games, Brett, since his debut, but you're right, when he's not out there, he's got everything ready. He runs and carries. He's a great user of the ball. He can mark it, and he's a goal kicker. So he has been a barometer for Richmond.
Yeah, they're 2-11 when he doesn't play, so Bockhorst couldn't quite. And then possibly into the back. Now he may be in trouble.
If Richmond are going to be a good team, I mean a really good team, they've got to get over that, Bruce, and they've got to know that no matter who's playing out there, Brett Deledio or not, they've got to get the job done. So somehow from here, they've got to get their rhythm going, got to play their game. They've got to start getting on top of Carlton.
Jack was clever. Martin's kick, well done to cut it off. Couldn't quite take the mark. Gets it wide. Simpson. We were told by Andrew Mackay pre-match that Simpson's numbers pre-season were the best he's ever had at 31 years of age.
Zach Tui takes off then. It's a long way back inside the defensive 50. Jamison. Wittering is freed up. Now Murphy wants it. Wittering, that was a well-disguised kick. Kept it low and was bearing down. Now Murphy ambitiously on the bounce to Graham. Curnow, who's been terrific, sends it down towards the attacking 50. Wrestled out of it by Asprey was Lamb. Asprey having a good night, goes short. Well, diving after it, Miles almost paid a price there. Asprey, Ellis, Brandon Ellis, who's been quiet by his lofty standards, tracks the ball towards the boundary, needs to be careful now, slips a hand pass away. Walker's got the footy, McIntosh got him. Hooley misses the chance, now it's Wright on the 50, hooks it down towards full forward. Miniger, a small body, and that was good enough. He was the man on the spot. A 203-centimetre giant Phillips was bearing down but couldn't get to the footy.
Yeah, one of those legs to go faster. Phillips, they just wouldn't go. Good fly at the back from White. Well read by Griffiths. That's a great handball. Rioli, neat-looking kick to half-forward. Rowe belts it away from Edwards. Jamison, Edwards has got him. He dropped it. Great chase. He's got some options here, Edwards, and he's, I thought he made a bit of a meal. Jet can kick a goal from here, and he's made a bigger meal of it.
Great chase by Edwards, but another example of the Carlton players laying off and allowing Edwards to play on. It really has opened the game up, hasn't it? Really allowed that player to move the ball quickly. Poor kick, but it still got to Reebolt because he was able to play on so quickly.
I think Cochin was the one on the outer side, wasn't he? He was running inside the 50. Should have required a good kick. It was touched on the mark, this one anyway, out of defence. Curnow, like this game. Kerridge, Lamb, steps around a would-be tackler, sends it up towards the wing, close to the boundary. The two number ones, Glostone. Didn't take it out, yes he did. And the boundary throw in, right on the wing. So, almost halfway in the second term, and the rival coaches. Damien Hardwick in his 7th season. Brendan Bolton in his first half. After it goes Bokhorst in the opposite direction, Revolt. Jarred out of there. Kerridge did well.
He did, Dennis, and then Cripps' hands were terrific. Bokhorst has been really busy and very physical. Great running by the Blues. Simpson, not quite by Casbolt. Rance, well done. Glostone got his head down, no free on it, and the umpire has been terrific. Townsend, Rance, did he run over? Not sure. Ball's going to come back though because Simpson underneath it. Carlton are really screwing in tight here, aren't they?
Pressure's great. Their hands in close is really sharp. They look very good.
So Simpson to centre half forward. Walker flew. Casbolt got the best look at it though. And ball in dispute. Squeezes out the back. Townsend. Ellis has to stop. And prop. And that's a dangerous kick and it's cut off. And this bloke can kick it back over their heads if he wants to.
That is a terrible kick, terrible option coming out of defence, and that's what pressure does. Carlton's pressure has been outstanding this first half. Just had nowhere to go, tried to bite off the impossible, and this bloke can kick a goal. Once saw him kick 6 goals for the Crows against North Melbourne in a ripping finish.
Yeah, fair way back. He was only a kid when he did it, didn't he? Kerridge, but he is a good kick. He's been a busy player. So we've got the length.
I think we were both at that game, Bruce, and watching him play that day, I thought this bloke was going to be an absolute superstar, but hasn't quite had the opportunities and hasn't quite made the most of them.
Well, they love the fact, with the smaller rotations, the big engine, they reckon he's a bloke that will never blow up. Big running capacity.
Curnow runs the boundary line. Well taken by White. That was courageous. Bent down to get the ball in flight. Phillips stripped. Cochin. And Corey Ellis, and it runs out of bounds. Brandon Ellis just 5 possessions.
Straight up!
Doherty and Griffiths. Mismatch.
Stay there, Flair, if need be. Hold there.
Boundary throw in. Gets them focusing. Cripps is the master of the look-away hand pass. Curnow to Gibbs. Gibbs has been terrific. Thumps it down towards the pocket. At the back is Lamb. He was pushing.
Hand in the back.
Cripps' positioning at that last stoppage, it's just perfect. He gets into the correct spot every time around those stoppages.
Hand in the back.
He's such a beast too. I mean,
He's had 5 stoppages, Bruce.
Yeah, I saw him walking with you before the match. I mean, such a big man. Gibbs back to Graham. Good kick. And the leading goal kicker of last year gets himself into a goal-scoring position.
And that's their 10th mark inside 50. Last year they averaged 9. And I guess the big talk at the start of this year is
Got to be a free kick there, doesn't it?
Probably a bit unlucky, but that to take 10 marks this early on, when we thought that this would be maybe their problem, their forward line, it's been a fantastic start for the Blues.
Sometimes a bit stiff. Everett, just one step, gets it home. And I reckon if you stop the match now, Brendan Bolton might get the 3 votes. I mean, because it's a long way to go, but right now they're going to run under him, aren't they?
Just to talk about that forward line, it really is not, I guess, a great forward line on paper. You've got Casbolt as a big option up there. You've got Cruiser that plays up there, but what they do have, they have versatility. Walker and Everett and these guys can play down back and also forward.
There's great movement on that forward line too. Just want some players leading. Done that. Very impressive Carlton so far. Still, the Tigers got some pluck as Townsend got it. Teammate in the middle there, Lambert, driven forward by Morris. Great mark, Rowe. Held his position and fell back to take the mark. This is Doherty over the top. White under pressure. Steps around Rioli. High ball, favours Hooley. Up he goes, juggles the mark. No, he doesn't. He drops it. Everett gave a contest, and that was enough. You just get the feeling the confidence is on the rise for the Blues.
That was a fantastic mark by Rowe, wasn't it, on Vickery? Only had the 1 possession, Vickery. Has to do more.
There's a match at Punt Road earlier tonight. A lot of those guys we just saw played in that match. Told that Delidio's still a couple of weeks away. Marriage probably next week. Conquer a long time away. And maybe the Irishman could force his way in for the Tigers next week. So
Grigg should play next week.
Hampson. Miles arcs the back. That's a clever kick, actually. Gets it to Rioli. Daniel sets it up. Revolt front spot. Rowe again at the back. He's been good, Rowe, hasn't he?
Their backline's organised. Rowe's getting himself loose. They've always got one spare back there at the moment. And Richmond really don't look like taking a mark inside forward 50. Only 3 marks so far.
Cripps and Graham looking on. Boundary throw in. Hampson knocks it down. Beats Lambert. Taken by Lloyd. Ducking the head Townsend on his knees. Did well. Hooley in space. Blostone. 51 metres out. High ball. Has it got the carry? It has. Good team goal. Hang on.
Your call's touch, Craig. Your call's touch. I didn't see a touch, so give the goal. Score review. Umpire's call for goal. Please confirm with the touch on the blue.
No. strange one.
Review complete. Confirmed goal.
It's a little bit odd because one umpire said to the other, "You call touch," and he said, "No, I didn't." Anyway, justice was done. That's the right call. Lost on. They needed that one, and they shared it around under pressure. The Tigers. Hasn't been their strong point tonight. 36 plays, 31 then. 8.5 minutes out from half-time on Thursday night footy.
Nick Floston, one of those players who's charged with taking Richmond to the next level. Nice goal, long goal, much needed goal, of course, for the Tigers. They've just got to find some sort of fluency now. They've got to find a way to get their game going.
Cruiser went early. Murphy couldn't quite get the kick away. Miles starting to get busy. Martin, Cripps, building and building. Simpson. Their handball's been impressive tonight. White kicks to just over centre winger contest. Phillips did well in the contest, so did Buckley. Hand by Lamb. Had to wait for it right. Ellis didn't give away a free kick. Wright did very well to Lamb. Lamb to Gibbs, and then Gibbs, does he get to Kerridge? Courage shown. McIntosh coming in hard. So Gibbs aware of all this.
Great call, Bruce. A lot of courage shown there.
So Carlton deep in attack. And wrapped up and the ball up.
Let him up now.
So we're back where we were at quarter time. A goal apiece in this term.
Play the footy, don't go high.
Hampson and Cruiser lock up. Gibbs couldn't find a way through. Kerridge was wonderful just moments ago. Boundary throw in. Great to have footy back. A good game to start. Really enjoying this one. Cruiser and Hampson. Hampson works in front. Barely touched it. Graham falling down Everett. Stumbling into his back. A tackler. Taken by Lamb. Tackled by Gloucester. The goal kicker back in defence now. And that was a hard throw. Oh, there you go. Be careful. Be careful. A word to the wise. 7.5 minutes from half-time. Casbolt goes up. Minadew out of the congestion. Kicks it around the outer side. Fickle bounce. Phillips is first back. Had to go low down. Give it to Doherty. He coughs it up. Minadew getting no support there. Everyone wanting the hand pass. Well, Asprey gives it to Lambert. Back to Asprey. Knocked away by Wright. Taken by Miles. Quickly across the wide support. Lambert went down. Well done, Kerridge. That feigned hand pass again. Served Cripps well. Kerridge comes back. Centering ball. Bounces wide at Gibbs. Taken by Cochin. Rance comes away at half back. Kicks towards midfield. Simpson launches himself. Knocks away. Slapped out of there. It worked okay, though. Revolt was intending to. Phillips knocked it that way. Lloyd sends it long down towards full forward. Martin worked in front, White behind. And this one is floating out of bounds on the full.
Great call, Dennis. It was frantic at half-back, wasn't it? Dusty Martin looks so dangerous when he gets into a one-on-one forward at 50. Ellis just to sit it for Vickery. Oh, gee, White went out. He does a free kick away.
Very silly. Didn't need to do it. Brendan Bolton just showing a bit of frustration, and quite rightly so. Unrealistic in his attempt. Went early. Did not need to give that free kick away.
I think he'd already got a little bit too far under the footy anyway, Vickery. So, yeah, just really bad judgment.
Well, still only just got there then.
Yeah, so Vickery was running under the footy.
Hey guys, I reckon if you were Dustin Martin and you were inside 50 in the goal square, you'd tell all your teammates to get away from him, I reckon, because he won't be beaten one-on-one, and it was actually a 2-on-2 then. I reckon if Martin was one-on-one, he wins that 9 times out of 10.
Has he got that in him, Richo?
To tell them to get out of his way, well, he should, because he's one of the best one-on-one players in the comp, and if he's down in the goal square and the teammates with him, might be saying get up the ground a bit.
Vickery for a second goal tonight. Strong looking kick. Richmond get back the lead. Within back 2 50-metre penalties. That one a bit sloppy there. Had a couple more shots.
Vickery's had the 2 possessions, and he's been the one that has got those 2 50-metre, took him to the top of the square, and then he got that free. 2 kicks, 2 goals.
So they may be a little fortunate to be in front right now, the Tigers, but they are. They've come back well.
Well, just maybe this is what Richo's talking about. We see Dusty Martin coming in to celebrate with Ty Vickery, but then just has a bit of a conversation with him about perhaps getting up the ground, getting up and around and coming back in, leaving Dusty Martin 1 out. Good call by Richo. Get him 1 out in the goal square. So dangerous.
He looks like the bloke. He'll tell you where to go. There goes the kick down towards half forward. Well done by Townsend, and Vickery again bobs up.
Ty might say now, hey, Dusty, you get out of my way, mate.
Oh, that was a beautiful kick, and well done, Ty, because he got help, but he stayed in the contest just before there, and really strong hands. You've got to make the most of those. You can't let those slip through, so strong mark.
Well done, Townsend, as well. Just the 1 game for GWS last season. Struggled with a foot injury, a total of 24, but this is Vickery going at his 3rd goal. He's way off target. He hands it out to the right. Still increases the lead. It's 38 to 36. There's Dusty. Fine pre-season. He's just a terrific player.
21 votes in the Brownlow last year. Smart by McIntosh. Wasn't easy. Murphy and Simpson, terrific smother. McIntosh now involved. There's Grimes out there. Wiedering runs it over. Boundary throw-in. Really 6 days I reckon for Carlton here. They've made a lot of the running tonight. Richmond have come back. They've got the lead. They're pushing forward here. Let's see what happens as we close in on half-time. Phillips engages Griffiths early. Cochin ran hard. Still hasn't really been able to impose anything on the game, Cochin. In plenty of effort, though. Murphy should get a free kick against Hooley.
Leave it on. Play on.
So 14th disposal for Murphy. A lot of Carlton players around that 13 and 14 going into half-time. Cruiser.
Play on.
Thumped it away. Tries the hand pass. Ashby down low. Murphy again. Shrugging 1. Shrugging 2. She's playing well, the captain.
The trick will be, can he play 4 quarters? Graham too slow. Look downfield. Must have been nothing on, and now Cochin wins a free. Cochin across the ground. Vlosto on the defensive 50. Loops a hand pass over the top. Martin was cool. Vlosto under pressure. This ball ricochets towards the outer side, so they've got it to do again. Hooley, hand passes forward. Rance short. Lot 15, Cochin to the wing. Revolt. Out against the boundary line. 6 times the leading goal scorer for the Tigers, 54 last year. Richo did it 13 times. That is a remarkable record. How does anyone do that? Here's Rance. Untidy. Hooley. This has been gutsy by the Tigers, though. Times they've been dazzled by Carlton. Here's Martin. Got it from Asprey. Towards half forward. Lambert is about 75 metres out from goal. Griffiths wants it long. Lloyd is coming at him. Lloyd's in space. If this ball gets there, Lloyd has to wait. Oh, it almost got there. He missed it. Opportunity now for the man going in, Tui. Couldn't get it out of there. Strong-arming it, Martin. And they combine. After their check, they combine. Vickery kicks a goal. They're like a tag team. They're like the Cracker Brothers. 8 points the margin. And Vickery doing his job, and Martin, that was splendid. It really does take 2 on most occasions to get him down.
That's fantastic. Great call, Jenny. He's a beast, Martin, isn't he?
Well, just a bit of beast mode from Dustin Martin. The fend off and the handball. Is he the strongest one-on-one player in the competition, Doug? Dustin Martin?
For his size, and in that situation, as Dennis said, you need 2 players to tackle him. Just so strong. And he invites the contact. He goes at them.
Patrick Cripps was wonderful again there. To Kerridge, to Gibbs, to Everett, to full forward. Bockhurst getting back. Rance. How good was that? Just bounced off. Kick wide from Menadue and finds the line. How's it called? Delivered.
Oh.
Doherty. Everett running onto it, gets it to about 20 metres. Walker beat fly. Cochin just working his way into the game a bit, isn't he, Cochin? Off a step, can he get it to a man? Good mark, Townsend.
He's a left out back. Towards the wing, Vickery. Long way up the ground. Takes this mark, wheels around, wants to go. Runners at half forward. Riebold is one of them. Just goes over the top. Nicely weighted kick, missed by Edwards. Soccer's off the ground. He knew where the help was. He got it across towards Lloyd. Lloyd snaps and hangs a long time in the air. Lambert had time to get across and contest. Knocked it down. This is Ellis. Corey Ellis. Curnow with experience. Ellis with the leg. Couldn't move it. Deep in the pocket. Riebold beat one tackler. Dragged down by White. Holding the ball. Incorrect disposal more particular.
Gee, they were on their Tigers. They had so many options going forward.
They've really tightened up the Tigers. Carlton haven't taken a mark in the last 14 minutes.
Here's Lamb doing some good roving. Check signs the ball, keeps it in. Vlostone. He sort of got the goal that got them going, Vlostone, against the flow. Carlton were in a bit of control at that stage. Ellis, Hooley. So the Tigers will lead it at half-time. It's almost certain now. Townsend done enough. Big-bodied midfielder. Misses that kick. Asked a fair bit though of Menadue. Good tackle from Menadue. Blues not quite being able to get control of it. Townsend, I think he's in trouble.
Stand up now. Well battled. Thanks. Just get up, thanks.
I think the umpiring's been really good.
It has been very good. Entertaining game. Gee, Carlton surprised me. Dylan Buckley, no free kick there. You don't want to be giving away a free kick late in this second quarter. But just two teams having a fair dinkum crack. It's great that footy's back. Real footy.
Cripps again gets the arms free and gets a hand pass off. He's quite incredible, Cripps. He must be much stronger than we give him credit for, or how he looks.
It's his ability, as you just said, Dennis, to get his arms free every time. It's what you got told to do in junior footy, and he does it just about better than anyone at the moment.
Yeah, something to behold at the moment. Knocked down by Cruiser. Coming through there was Cochin, inadvertently socket forward by Kerridge, taken by Hooley. There he is again. He knew the tackler was right on his heels with a shimmy and sets up a goal-scoring opportunity with only 30 seconds till half-time.
He's just a wonderful footballer, Patrick Cripps. So young, but so strong in the contest, but has the composure as well. That was a clever kick. He could have just bombed that long to the square, but hit up Graham. Nice use.
So we're running over the numbers. Shuffle. Kick is on the way. Important one, too, for the Blues. Hits the post. Clock stops at 6 seconds. 44 plays 37. The one thing Carlton can't do is go in at half-time and be disheartened by this.
No, they've got to be pleased with this first half. So competitive. Maybe a couple more chances they could have taken, but been a positive first half.
Yep. By the same token, the Tigers have been gutsy. Kick comes out. Griffiths goes up, knocks it towards the boundary. And it's half-time. And the Tigers, they trail by 3 points at quarter time. At half-time, lead by 7. Check that scoreline. It's 7-2 to 5-7 on Thursday Night Football. Dustin Martin and Alex Rance, 13 apiece. The Tigers clawed their way back in that second quarter, but came a lot to like with that first quarter as far as, or first half really, for the Blues.
Yeah, very competitive. Good to see by the Blues. How will Richmond respond now? They should power away in this third quarter if they're the team we think they are.
We're about to find out. This is Kerridge. Beats his own man. Kicks it down towards half forward. Hangs a long time in the air. Casbolt got hands to it. Rance, who's been superb. Asprey's been good. Ellis gave it to Lambert, to Hooley. Lambert. Braden Ellis, very quiet in the first half. Sends it down towards half forward. Poor kick though. And Wiedering, good anticipation.
East West.
He'll take that mark. He reacted quickly. Number 1 draft pick in last season's draft. Then sends a high ball down towards half forward. And in from the side, Hooley.
Good mark, wasn't it, against the bigger man. Been a fantastic player for the Tigers. 55th consecutive match. So there he is again.
Well, for a young man to do that in your first game, that's just really good use of the body.
So the youngest to the oldest, as far as the Blues are concerned tonight. Simpson to Rowe to Doherty. Murphy's on a long lead, but I don't think he's going to get to him.
Move it on. Play on. Yours.
Cruiser the target. He just has to wait. Did well, Cruiser. And did very well in the end. And then Doherty, look away. Simpson, Doherty. Murphy will get on the end of this now from Gibbs. It was great running. How about this for a goal? Well set up was this. And Cripps bangs it home. Gut running from Murphy, eh? Just gut running from the skipper.
I did say before half-time that it depended very much on how long he could run. Well, he's showing no signs of slowing down as Mark Murphy didn't play a game in the pre-season. Obviously, it's overrated.
We were worried about Carlton's ability to score tonight, but with passages of play like this, is just sensational. Linking up with handballs, the skipper Mark Murphy with the hard running, and again, Duck, as you called, getting out the back. Patrick Cripps, just so smart. Easy goal.
Lambert out of the middle, drives it down towards half forward. Griffiths in the hands. He's about 60 metres from goal.
Thank you.
There's a good block down there, getting Lloyd free. The kick goes in that direction. Getting in behind Lloyd is Reebok. Well, if that was thought out, it was pretty canny. Reebok's got the ball about 20 metres out from goal.
Yeah, you're right, Dennis. Really well thought out. There's a good block. And then Reebok came in behind. As you can see there, that's where the gap opened up. Really important. I think it was Jamison that probably got caught player watching rather than stand in that hole behind.
Reebok's first mark inside 50. Just to point the difference, Carlton with the opening goal. This to reply in kind, and Jack does it, steers it through. Footy's back. Look at that. The streets were abuzz on the way down to the MCG tonight. It's all part of the fervour. Jack set for another big season. And the Tigers expected to build on last year. 3 disappointing campaigns now. They need to do better. They know that.
Jack's 100th game at the MCG.
And the footy boys.
To 27 goals now here at the Cathedral. Ball coming back. So can Carlton keep up? That's the big question here. That ruthless edge you talked about pre-match, Lingy. Let's see if the Tigers have got it.
They just can't let them keep up. They just got to find a way, Richmond.
So Kerridge, off balance, gets it to half forward, right. Vlostone getting back. Dangerous kick. Well done from Lamb. Now Gibbs had a very, very good first half. Spocker's got it. Just a hook. And a behind. He's been busy enough.
Yep.
There's a lot talked about him last year. Dennis, you would know him from Western Australia, but he was sort of their first pick, and a lot of people queried it. But I like what I've seen.
It's your age. I think from Swan Districts, should know that, but he was their best first-year player last year for Carlton. Hooley drives it outside the 50, over the top row. Behind, Tui. Rance full-bloodedly gets across, takes the mark. To the pocket, Vlostone. More responsibility as a key defender this season. Sends it out wide. Keeping it in, doing nicely. Lloyd makes it difficult for his teammate in front down there, Lambert, but it came back to him. And now Edwards is free. Edwards looks inside the forward 50. Griffiths backing back. And the man coming at him lost sight of the footy. And now Griffiths goes to Menadue, who'll kick his second. Well, Griffiths was outnumbered initially inside that forward 50, but it didn't matter. The defenders were well spread. And he simply came back to the ball. The man in front of him panicked a little. And once you do that and sort of take your eyes off the footy, bad things happen.
He's a sub in 4 of the 5 games he played manager last year, so getting a chance here with a couple of goals.
Just a great example here of keeping your eyes on the footy. That's what Griffiths did, and you can see him just duck inside until he takes his eye off it. But more importantly, turned around quickly. He's 30 metres out, looks up, there's a player free.
So Edwards involved again, duck and running hard and kicking to 4 forward in a one-on-one maybe. Couldn't quite land it. So the Tigers now up and roaring, aren't they? Big crowd, terrific night for football. Carlton have impressed us all, but now they're really being challenged. Cripps. Well, first time he's really been brought down. That's a good tackle.
It was a good tackle. Just kept fighting to get that one arm down so he couldn't get the 2 hands free and give the handball off. Well done by Miles.
And then Miles finds and delivers. So young Rioli. So Mum and Dad, they flew from the Tiwi Islands in a light plane to Darwin. Talking about Bradley and Belinda Rioli. They're from Darwin to Cairns, and then from Cairns to Melbourne, and they're here tonight with another brother and sister. So let's see if he's got the length here. It's a good kick. He's just held the line in the behind. But he looks like he belongs, doesn't he?
Certainly had the length there too, Bruce. So 50's not a concern for him.
Tiwi Islands had their grand final last weekend. Rollicking affair as always. Close to the boundary line. Jamison goes nicely. Wiedering right on the defensive 50. So Carlton just dropping off the pace a little now. It's the kick around the outer side. Getting high. The mark is taken by Casbolt. Casbolt in front of Asprey, who's done a good job. Casbolt goes short to Kerridge. A lot of the football, his kicking hasn't been terrific tonight.
If Carlton get it in quickly here, you've got Cripps and Hampson inside 50. They're a bit of a mismatch there.
Tigers' biggest lead of the night right here. Here goes Kerridge. Down towards half forward. Casbolt again. He kicked it to Kerridge. He'd moved on in life. Taken by Asprey. Grimes. Rance in the back pocket. Waits for Grimes. Composure there. Hampson. Good run from Ellis. That's Brandon Ellis. Grinds it outside the defensive 50. Menadue's in front. Kearney carried him under the ball. Everett slips a hand pass away. Simpson comes to Rowe. Men on in the middle. Choice of a couple. Well, that was the wrong man who called Phillips out there. It was Buckley. He should have just stopped and kept Rance out. Rance gave a contest and the moment was gone.
Perfectly cool, Dan. Spot on. They're in such a good position there, the Blues. Ellis able to get onto that left foot. Griffiths has been a target through this quarter. He's got such a long leg. This is danger for Carlton. Kicks to full forward. Interference. Free kick. Is it the advantage? Rioli's taking the advantage and hit the post. Revolt had earned the free kick.
Little lesson there for Daniel Rioli. You don't take the advantage unless you're running into an absolute certain open goal. Your teammate go back and have the set shot.
To give a Rioli a spray even in his first match.
I think he'll kick plenty of those, Lingy, in his career.
Graham puts it out of bounds on the full. So Carlton need to be very careful here now. He knows that.
Just had to go the drop punt there, I think, too. Rioli, Duck, you're a big fan of just kicking the drop punt there.
Yep. Could have run in a little bit further too.
Martin got it from Grimes to half forward. This is Miles, and suddenly they're picking the Blues apart. Miles looking inside the forward 50. Forced to kick a high ball. That was good pressure. Revolt comes strongly. So did Phillips. Fell in front. Lambert trying to get out of there. About 4 times he ducked and weaved. But eventually he's paid the price, holding the footy. So Lambert gives up the free. Graham quickly moves the ball out to Murphy. Murphy has played a terrific game. Short one to Gibbs. He's been good too. Started brilliantly. 11 possessions in the opening term.
Back into the centre to Graham. So big challenge for Carlton now. Let's see how they respond. Simpson, they've got a good chance here. Curnow's been terrific. Duck talked about his role at half-time. And then Curnow with an average-looking kick, though. The Rams was sort of looking the wrong way, and Walker was able to come in late. And a boundary throw. And they've got a stoppage inside the forward 50. Trips can be dangerous here.
In front, Hampson. Well done. Through the legs, though, of McIntosh. Lambert in the thick of it again. Blosstone. Heard the umpire. Touch ball. Doherty knew that. Punches it back inside the 50. Kerridge had it. Lost it. Tui. Clever kick again. He's the master of the clever kick. Should take the patent. Right. Just gets it home. Needed that one. 94 games for the Crows. Started well. He's been very handy tonight, doing exactly what they need him to do. And he pulls it back to 9 points. And you can see there's a lot of self-belief in this group. Being challenged, and the Tigers work their way on top. But Carlton have come back strongly, so the recipe seems to be working.
As you called, Dennis, just a clever bit of play from Zach Tui there. Vision was good. Again, able to hit the target. A nice finish. Carlton needed that one. Richmond had just got a bit of a roll going. They're staying in touch. Good competitive game of footy.
Tui's vision just outstanding a couple of times tonight. So Tigers out of the centre. White with a long ball to half forward. Lamb held on to Morris. Haven't pulled him much. Lamb and Morris together. And it'll be a stoppage at half forward for the Blues. Fascinating to see what sort of score Carlton can sort of average this year. I mean, they were 10 goals a match basically last year. 69 points in total. So Doherty arched the back, did well. Ran hard, got it from Murphy, put his man under pressure. Still ball in, worked it well. Curnow just was a bit slippery for him from Everett. And a ball in. Carlton getting it almost to the 50. Paul staying in. Just off the boot. So the Blues pressing here.
Phillips pumps it inside the 50. First to the footy is Ellis. Coughs it up, though. Kerridge sold a teammate into trouble. Curnow having a good turn, but this time he may pay the price. No, umpire says he'll do him.
Opportunity and made an attempt.
Niall's not happy. Curnow's been good. Shutdown job early. The Tigers skipper. Cripps again, in and under. This one bouncing. I presume it's been touched. It goes wide anyway. So behind. 8 points the margin. Grant's wasting no time. That's a good kick. Corey Ellis takes the mark. He's at right half back. Not much to choose up ahead. So he's waiting. Now running across is Martin. Not a bad option in this situation. Will he get to the contest? No, it fell in front. Now he's in the contest. Goes after the footy. Oh, well done, Wiedering. Stepped around a very good player. Kicks inside the forward. The half volleyed. Grimes couldn't control it. Cochin does.
Gee, it was good there, Wiedering, wasn't it? Back to White. To Rowe. And back to Wiedering, the 18-year-old. Jamison. And they're lookalikes in a way, aren't they? Even one's played so much footy and so much older. Kerridge on the end of that from Doherty. So what's Kerridge had tonight? He's been busy. Just the 12. Thought he might have had a little more than that. They work it okay. I think Curnow got in at the right time because it was too far from Murphy. Phillips, the big ruckman. Can he deliver? He does. To Cruiser. Next goal huge here for both teams. So what does Cruiser do? Does he go long, or is he going to try and set it up? It's a neat kick to Casbolt, and Dimmer's going to be disappointed. He was on his own for a long time.
He was, and I'm trying to work out how exactly he got so free, Duckett. Just here, I don't know if his Richmond opponent loses him. He just left him standing 20 metres out from goal, as simple as you like. You love that as a forward.
They got attracted to movement or other players moving. Richmond defenders went and just left Casbolt there.
Check side kick. Does he get it right? No.
I think he was making his mind up as he was walking in what sort of kick he was going to do there.
I reckon you're right, Dave.
Drop punt, and then I thought, I'll try a check side. See, now there's the problem with his kicking. The hand comes away from the ball far too early. That hand has to stay on the footy and be closer to his boot.
Asprey out of the back pocket. Vickery's in front. Cruiser intent on destruction. Thumps it back inside the 50. Hacked out of there by Hooley. But straight onto the chest of Rowe. Gives it off quickly. Tui has been dangerous in this situation tonight. Under pressure this time. Sends a high ball inside the 50, and the mark is taken by Phillips. And Cruiser did some good work in mid-air there. Just cleared a bit of room for Phillips to come back. So Phillips is directly in front.
Well, that's almost the toughest mark to take in footy. Backing back, under pressure, pack coming down on you. And to keep your eyes on the footy and then execute the skill. Terrific. Good reach.
And Carlton have always felt that he was able to get forward and take a mark. Well, didn't see it a lot through the NAB challenge, but that's got to lift his confidence.
Tasmanian, drafted by the Giants in 2010. Important kick here for his new club, and he puts it through. They won't go away.
If only Casbolt could run in and kick like that. I mean, that's been hard on Levi, I know, but that was just a lovely kick.
And that's telling. We'll get more on this in a moment. Alex Rance coming off the ground, took himself off. Wow.
Well, here's what you're talking about, Duck. Our spy cam tonight. The ball drop a long way off the boot there.
And then just throws the foot at it.
Yeah, just too much room for error. That's why he sprayed it a little bit. He is improving, though. Give him credit. He's improving and working on it.
Rance has taken himself off here too. It looks like he might have a thigh injury. Matty will get down to you in a minute. So Carlton have come back strongly here within a kick. Game up for grabs. Griffiths, great tackle. Time from right. Graham, they arch their back again. Doherty to right, spreads it to his old teammate and Kerridge. Kerridge goes to the pocket. Oh, Walker takes a beauty. A one-hander. So here's Rance. That's the big story right now.
Yeah, well, when Phillips kicked that goal, so we have a look at that terrific one-handed mark from Walker. That's just too good. Phillips kicked that goal. Rance came immediately from the ground. Looks like the inside of his left knee that he was rubbing. I think he's going to be okay. He's just going to run around the boundary now as Walker comes in.
Well, we've had 8 individual goal kickers. This to put the Blues back in front. They've done it. Gee, what a change in the last 10 minutes. I mean, you felt like Richmond sort of had them where they wanted them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Once again, it was that link-up handball from the centre of the ground. Quick handball. Handballs to the advantage of your teammate. The game continues to flow. Gets to a one-on-one. And a freakish mark.
Well, as Alex Rance runs back onto the ground, Shane Edwards has come off, and he's got a problem with his right hand. You can see the doc there, Greg Hickey and physio Anthony Shack working on it. I think they're taping it up. He'll probably come back on, but he was in a fair amount of pain as he came off the ground.
Carlton lead by 4 points. Townsend off balance, taken down by Gibbs. Brandon Ellis. Hooley has to align himself for that left foot. As a result, untidy hand pass. Oakhorst gets it across to Graham. Graham thumps it in. Walker in front. Big leap at the back. Runs free though for Wright. Wright kicks the goal. Grimes needed to punch it. He's got 2 wide. How about this? What a swing in the game. He's been very, very good tonight, Matthew Wright. Johnny on the spot, but Grimes drawn under the ball by the man in front of him, misjudging it. And Wright arrived quickly, under no real pressure.
Well, this has been the hallmark of their game so far. Chase and tackle by Buckley, strong in the contest, and then that chain out of handball, in quickly. Grimes missed it, let it get over the back. Well finished by Wright. This has been a huge effort by the Blues. Richmond have got to do something.
3 goals in 3 minutes for Carlton. 4 in 9. Bockhorst. 55 metres out, looks up, kicks to the pocket. Vlostone, Everett lurking, and the ball out in the boundary throw-in. When Rioli dribbled to behind, Riewoldt put them 15 points in front of Jack, had the free kick, the goal, they would have been 20 points up, Richmond. So in the last 9 minutes, Carlton have kicked 4 goals and have got the lead back. A 10-point margin. Big swing around here. Phillips. Hanson won the tap. Ball knocked out. Hurley. McIntosh. Slugs it away. Keeps weighted. Well done there by Menadue. Did very well. Got it to Lambert. Lambert kicks to centre wing. G. Lloyd read it best. So the Tigers being challenged hard here. Lambert. You almost feel, guys, that Carlton are now at the stage where they're not going to go away. You feel like you get to a match and if you can get to a certain point, they're going to hang around for the rest of the game.
They've got belief now, Carlton. It's going to be hard work for Richmond, but
and they've got more energy linking at ground level. Their run and link up with hands is a lot better than Richmond's.
So Townsend, but here's a good mark by Vickery.
I posed the question before the game, has Richmond developed that ruthless edge? Well, the next 5 minutes of this third quarter is going to show it to me and give a big answer to that. Because if Richmond can weather the storm that Carlton's thrown at them, and they can just finish this quarter off big, get the scores back level or just in front and go away with it, then they're developing it. But this quarter and this little patch just hasn't been good enough by the Tigers. Credit to Carlton, but not good enough by Richmond.
Once before he's kicked 4 goals against the Blues. That one not coming back enough. So he's missed a couple, Vickery. He's had 3 goals, 2 tonight.
I think what's been most impressive is how Carlton have done it, in the manner that how they've done it. I mean, just the ball movement, the quick hands through the middle of the ground, the speed of ball movement.
As Doherty to himself plays on now, loops a hand pass to White. They've got the confidence to use the ball coming out. Weghorst across half back. Thought about the hand pass, hasn't played on yet. Now he goes short with precision. Here's Wright, centre half back across the ground. Simpson had to wait. Well done by Menadue. Picks the footy up. Knew where the help was. Got it to Vickery. Sweeping hand pass inside the centre square. Cochin. Martin, impossible to pull him down. 60 metres out from goal. Skids towards Ellis. Ellis turns around. Corey Ellis. And he snaps a goal. A seesawing affair. It's back to 3 points.
Just I reckon a poor decision by Wright there. I mean, the ball just hung too long for Simpson, didn't it?
Yeah. Still, they're trying things, aren't they? And I mean, they're not going to win the premiership. They know that. Just got to sort of fine-tune things. But we saw a lot of Carlton last year. They're playing well tonight.
You see there, Dusty Martin, just once again, so hard to tackle, just the fend off. Wasn't a great kick, but it was to his teammates' advantage, and that's all it has to be.
One of the youngsters finishing it off, so Tigers come back. Phillips over the top. Gibbs, good tackle from Townsend, another good tackle from Lambert.
Because you must be 1 metre, please. Thank you. Straight back.
What a terrific game we've seen here to start the season. Gibbs wide to Murphy to Cripps. Those 3 in the same sentence, eh? To Wheatley, those 4. And then Tui to Graham. Had a good pre-season, Graham. Big season for him, full stop, to establish himself as a regular player, to have that confidence that he's in the team every week. Kicks to half forward. Phillips caught underneath it. Morris pushed in the back. Hooley had it smothered. Ball doesn't get far. Murphy onto it.
Looping hand pass over the top. Brandon Ellis, strong tackle, got him down, but not before he hand passed to Blostone. Hooley got it pretty well in the end after a fumble. Cochin, high ball, over the top Asprey. Phillips knocked it down in front, sheltered it for a moment. Boakhurst goes after it, and he's pushed across the boundary line.
It's just so obvious their pressure is so much better from what we've seen last year from Carlton. They just keep harassing Richmond, keep forcing them to make decisions and turn it over.
Fair to say we're experts on Carlton. 6 Friday night games last season. We know a bit about them. Ball's gone out of bounds again, and I doubt we've seen them put together 3 quarters like this. Certainly in most of those 6 games. I can't remember. I might be proved wrong, but they've been dazzling tonight at times, just prepared to take chances.
Murphy sucking in the big ones a moment ago. Rock talked about his pre-season. Cripps getting back. He's been great tonight, Murphy. Speak of him. Keeps the ball in, gets it to about 40 metres. Casbolt presents. Cochin getting back deep. Gets the ball as far as he can. So get over the back, not quite. Carlton with the numbers. Simpson, Curnow in tight space. Well played by Edwards, back on the ground. Talked about the hand injury. Doherty just had to fish a bit, but they get it back to Rowe. Now the angle for Rowe was a little bit difficult, but back they go to Jamison. Jamison with a long leg out wide, so Carlton take it from one side to another. Murphy again. And then little one.
It's the only worry with Mark Murphy, isn't it? Just his lack of match conditioning. Can he finish this game off as well as he's played his first 3 quarters? If he can, well, Carlton can win this. I never thought I'd be saying it. They can certainly win it.
Carlton lead by 3 points at the moment. Tui, long leg to Kerridge. Kerridge is about 75 metres from goal. Goes wide, looking for distance here. They'll compete about 20 metres out. Phillips is in that pack, and what a mark, well, almost. Casbolt had it, didn't take it to the ground, didn't stick the landing. Asprey couldn't get through the pack, and Wright didn't have the footing. It's been taken high. And will shoot it goal to add to their lead from about 20 metres out. He's really had an impact tonight.
Free kick here, in low and hard.
Around. Thank you.
It's not ducking when you're overwinning the footy. That's different from picking the ball up and driving ahead. That's somebody prepared to go low and hard and win the hard contest through the free kick. Wow, this is a huge kick.
To stretch it to 9. Approaching 3/4 time. He's been terrific. He's got 3 goals.
All in this 3rd quarter. So, we've talked a lot about who they brought into the club and why they might have. Played a lot of footy at Adelaide, even last year. He's the one player that they've brought in that's had some experience, that actually played a fair bit of footy at this level last year. And he's done what he does best tonight, forward pressure and kick some goals.
Here's that free kick. You're allowed to get over and win the footy. In the end, the tackle was just too high. That's fair, isn't it, Duck? You thought it was ducking?
Well, he had his head down. It's probably...
You've got to put your head down to win the ball.
True. A little bit lucky.
So in the last minute of the 3rd quarter, Carlton by a couple of kicks. Tigers forward, well done, Wiedering just tapped it forward. McIntosh held up well. Vickery, Martin, Ellis on the right side for him, a left foot. Gets it to full forward. Well done getting back there. Was Simpson. He is so courageous. Graham, decision making important here. Goes to Simpson. They run it out, Carlton. They did it pretty well. Floating kick coming out from Tui. Mark taken by Wiedering.
He wasn't overruled by the Richmond captain, Cochin. Obviously has him in size, but did it easy.
Kerridge to Cripps. So maybe the Blues, over time you can see, is probably going to beat everyone. What a great quarter of footy we've seen. I mean, Richmond made the running. Looked like they'd have a good lead at 3/4 time, but it's Carlton that lead at 3/4 time. It could not be better set up on this Thursday night to start the 2016 season. It's the Blues, the Wooden Spooners from last year, leading the finalists from the last 3 years, 75-66.
And they didn't play in the pre-season. Some effort, Mark Murphy. Cochin's gone to the forward line. Spent the last few minutes of the third term on the bench. So away we go. Carlton, can they win this from here? Martin to Lambert. They take it quickly out of the middle. Lloyd pushing up the ground. Right half forward. Vickery goes to the pocket. Lloyd delays. Now he goes for distance. Well, plenty of Carlton players there. Jamison came over the top, knocked it down. Cochin crumbed it. Jamison deflects it across towards Wiedering. Tui goes back to Simpson. Well worked, although the kick not flash. Doherty improvising. This will be close. Well, it pitches a couple of metres in from the boundary. Boakhurst did well. Picked up by Casbolt, if you don't mind. Gives it to Doherty. Doherty spots a man on the move. Guess who? Murphy to the middle and Cruiser. Runners alongside. Take your pick. Gives it to Gibbs. On the burst is Kerridge. Now he can run inside 50. He can measure the kick. And he can kick a big goal. He did none of that. He bounces it down towards full forward. Rance gives a hand pass across to McIntosh. McIntosh kicks towards the outer side. Back come the Tigers.
Gee, what a disappointing finish. Such a setup. Asprey. Tui getting across. Just for the record, Lingy. And interchanges 59 for Richmond at three-quarter time, 64 for Carlton. Way down on what obviously we would have seen at this time last year.
Yeah, absolutely, Bruce. And that'll have an impact. We've already touched on Mark Murphy's lack of match practice, but these guys are going to have to be fit, work hard.
Bokhurst, and he's got it, Levi. Gee, it was a good kick. Is this the zoning, the fact that he's got space, do you think?
Absolutely. They're protecting space. Levi, well, he didn't really lead, did he? He just stood there and he got the mismatch. He's just, you can see, there's no lead there. He's just standing in space and he's just so good above his head. And we've spoken about his kicking.
The best mark in the opposition forward line. Shouldn't be able to stand there, though, with no body pressure when the ball's been delivered inside 50 from a set kick, though.
Yeah, you're right, Richo. He's been a target all night.
Hasn't been able to nail a goal yet. It becomes a liability when you can't hammer them home at this point.
I think we've got a factor in the interchange too, helping to make this game such a good spectacle. I reckon 75 might be the optimum number. Out of defence, Blostone kicks it just outside the 50. Miniju takes the mark. 3-1 in game. Players finding space. And the champions allowed to be champions. Miniju back towards the middle. Blostone wants to go. A couple to choose from on the outer side. Hooley is the widest. He'll want his left peg though. Well, Graham did okay on the mark. Hooley kicks it high as a result. In front, Ellis. Good grab. Defensive side of right centre wing. Just takes some of the sting out of the game. Goes back to Blostone. Now to the middle. Hooley's pushed up. Bit of a fumble. Finds it on the deck. Ellis breaks for him. Did nicely. Not 15. Martin couldn't take the mark. Back with Ellis again. Working double time. Townsend gathers the bouncing footy. Turns around and spots Lambert inside the forward 50. He's got a pretty good leg. He could score from here.
Lambert just kept on running when he assumed that Dustin Martin was going to take that mark comfortably uncontested and wheel and go. He kept on heading forward, and Richmond's ability to win the 50-50 ball meant that he was by himself inside forward 50.
The more interchange make it harder for players in this situation to A, get the distance, and I suppose B, get it online. They get a little more tired. The ball's out of bounds in the pocket.
It's a goal early in the match, Lambert. In fact, the opening goal of the season. Cruiser, Griffiths with the headgear off. Edwards, that ball looked as if it was out. Obviously wasn't. Hooked back by Townsend. Griffiths gets a free.
Hanson.
Oh, Hanson, sorry. No wonder he had the headgear off.
Straight in front.
Well, that's fair enough. Eyes not on the footy by Matty Cruiser. You can't do that.
Hasn't had a kick tonight, Doug.
No.
He's had 5 handballs and a chance here against the old team. Oh, gee, there's been a couple of big misses in this last quarter.
One each, Casbolt and now Hampson. 2 bad misses. I suppose they do cancel each other out. We're back to game on, but bad kicking for goal.
Margin 9 points. Cripps characteristically over the top. Gibbs. And with it quickly again. Casbolt leads back in the race. Grimes just a quicker man though. Paddles it to his own advantage. Now this will be interesting. Deliberate was played. Lamb wants to go, wasting no time. Breaks to about 70 metres from goal. Now straddling the line is Walker. Not good enough. Out of bounds on the full.
Thanks, Alex. Alex, not out, mate.
Well, that's pretty severe, but that's what it is.
That's the one. It's just that last touch, isn't it? Somehow they've got to disguise it better. Must let it go, shepherd it out.
Hampson, Townsend, Miles run down by Curnow. Ellis, Martin arching that back, opening it up. Lambert, well, he can see the goals in front of him. Oh, did well, Lambert. He held his ground. Revolt then misses the target. Rioli has to get back. Little kick from Edwards to full forward to Beauty. And Jackson a spot here to kick his second and bring Richmond back within a kick.
Well done, Jack, because he missed the target. It was a bad handball, but he stayed in. He kept reading the play, kept drifting forward, and in the end got an uncontested mark. So didn't get down on himself for missing the handball. Stayed in it.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, we've seen a couple of horrible misses in the last quarter, but you'd expect him to goal here. He's so accurate from these positions. Never going to miss. Splits the middle. Gets his second. Tigers close.
Just have to use him more. He's got to be the go-to man.
Love to get a split screen of this man and Casbolt and have a look at the differences between. Look at that, over the footy, eyes on it, the ball drop, perfect onto the boot.
Carlton lead by 3 points. Phillips decisively down to Gibbs. Curnow hurriedly to half forward. On the stretch, McIntosh plays on immediately. Searing kick down towards half forward. Lambert feels the mark quickly, gets back and finds a man on the move. That was good footing by both parties. Townsend's got it. That's not a good kick. Straight to Simpson in the back pocket. Still a long way to go in this one. Simpson just settling it down. Out of a beleaguered defence last season. They're not enjoying this one so far. Can they hang on? Casbolt in front. Rance played it pretty well. Edged him out. And Asprey took the mark. So Asprey forward of the wing. Sends a high one, a very high one. This should be destroyed by the Carlton defence. Wiedering was the player in front who got the crumb. Charging through was White. Missed him. And again, Lloyd gets free. Beat 2 men and kicks the goal. And the Tigers lead. Well, how about that? They've surged again, Richmond. And this guy knows how to kick a goal.
That's what he's there for, Dennis. Very clever around the goals. Doesn't need too many opportunities.
He's an interesting player, Doug, isn't he?
Yeah. He's had the 11 possessions, kicked the 1 goal.
Brilliant footy here by Sam Lloyd. Look at that move. Great spin on the skipper, Mark Murphy, on the left foot. Fantastic finish by the Tiger forward. Goal of game last year. Huge goal, that one.
That's for sure. Interesting journey to get to this level as well. Cochin, good kick. Up and about. Lambert's been pretty important. Edwards backtracks to Lambert again. Looked up, kicks to the half forward. Revolt. Still with Jack. He's kicked a couple and he's just sprayed it and missed. Richmond surging hard here. Lloyd, Deniliquin, Geelong, Graham of Frankston was a mature age 66 pick, I think, about 3 years ago. But he's an interesting player. A good man to have in your team.
So these players gasping for air now. Doherty comes short. Graham up from the back pocket. Tigers lead by 4 points. Dangerous pass, but made to look okay by Lamb, running hard. Not much gained. Doherty started this from the goal square. Graham moving for him now. This is an attacking run. Should have kept going. Hesitated. Now he goes. Everett, man over the top is Boakhurst, but Everett dropped the mark, and Rance doesn't need a second chance. Dived on top there. Bit unfortunate not to get the free, Rance. Ball up. Forward end of the square for Carlton.
Certain goal.
Yeah.
Not missing.
Curnow. Gibbs, nicely done. Got some space on it. Kerridge on the overlap. Doherty met hard. Kick wanders down towards the pocket. Walker claims he wants a free kick. Needs a free kick. Not forthcoming.
Can Carlton find their run again now? Richmond is suddenly getting a lot of handball receives. That was a feature of Carlton's game for most of this match. But just then, Doherty gets the handball receive off half back. It breaks the game open.
Hampson wins the tap. Ellis. Cochin to Edwards. Advantage paid. Cochin was held on to Rioli. Gives it to Ellis, and then Ellis goes wide. Lambert's had a good last quarter. Pushing hard and wide Asprey. Tigers lead it 80-76. 7 changes of lead tonight. Rance forever the general. At the peak of his powers. To Grimes. To McIntosh. Morris on the end of it. Now Martin probably on the end of this.
Sweeping hand pass out wide. Ball's in good hands, although not much happens that time. Hooley's got it though. Even a left foot has helped in this situation with that protected area, but he kicks over the man on the mark inside the forward 50. Could have been a push in the back down there to Revolt. Nothing doing. Doherty tries to slap it out. Succeeded. Simpson. Little short one in front. Tui had to wait too long. And closing Hooley thumped it out of bounds. So a boundary throw in. Left half forward. Tigers attacking.
Spoken so much about Murphy in this game. He's been super, but only had the one possession in this last quarter. Maybe that fitness and not playing a pre-season game has caught up a little.
Improvising Martin, poked it out of mid-air. Lambert, 14th possession, flings it across towards Lloyd, and Lloyd will kick another. Hang on.
Review complete. Umpire's call.
So a couple of last quarter goals for Lloyd. He kicked 3 in his only other match against the Blues. And what about Lambert's final quarter? He's been, in many ways, the match winner. Other things have happened around him, I know.
Talking about Lloyd, Bruce, I mean, 6 times 3 goals in 21 games.
No, he's a fascinating player.
Little moments are crucial in these big last quarters. He's taken 2 of them. Everett drops that mark at centre forward. Carlton potential certain goal. Goes back the other way. Carlton have just got to make the most of every single moment. At the moment, it's Richmond who are doing it.
Well, Lambert's had 8 disposals in the final term. Cripps and Murphy 2 between them. So those great players have slowed right up. Griffiths is clever. Revolt couldn't quite. And the Blues cannot afford another goal against them. They have been so good for so long tonight. Great smother. All happening for the Tigers. And Menadu's done his bit tonight with a couple of goals. See the dominance of the Tigers there in this last quarter.
They lead by 10. Griffiths and Cruiser. About 70 metres out from the Tigers' attacking goal at the second attempt. Griffiths knocked it on. Taken by Gibbs to Kerridge. Bearing down. A man you can't get past. You need him to tackle him. If that makes sense. He's a strong tackler. And almost impossible to tackle, Dustin Martin. Townsend down to Miles. Hooks it back towards the middle. Doherty was in there. Spilt the mark. Quick reflexes though. Jamison to Wiedering in the defensive goal square. Little chip to the pocket taken by Everett.
She took to mark early in this quarter, Everett, didn't it? It was vital. Here's Murphy. Quick look up. Good kick from Murphy to Buckley.
Thank you.
And the Blues got one more surge in them. Feel like they might. Gibbs running hard. Kicks to half forward. Such an important contest. Casbolt, they've got the numbers here, Carlton. Casbolt, he's in trouble, but the ball came out. Rance was brilliant. That's why he's the All-Australian defender and one of the most important players in the game. But Carlton with a chance, in good hands with Tui, you'd think.
Marvellous again, Rance. There's Murphy, just forward of the wing. And Carlton trying for their moment in the sun now. It's been played that way tonight. Patches of brilliance for both teams. Patches of dominance. Now a chance for Tui. Going back to Murphy. But that looks like they, at least for the moment, have run out of ideas. We'll get a boundary throw in.
At least Murphy played on inboard, got the handball to Tui. He's trying to create, he's trying to get something going instead of just going down the line.
Tigers by 10. Shallow throw in. Ruckman lunge at it, taken by Gibbs. Curnow, he's been good. Sends a high one down towards half forward, making it very difficult for Wright. Grimes coming over the top, and he thumps it out of bounds.
Carlton with an opportunity from the stoppage. 50 metres from goal. Phillips won it down. Townsend courageous. Miles courageous. Two of a kind a bit. Martin, so good in heavy traffic. And then a lovely little kick. All the brute force of Martin and then all the consummate skill in the one package. Revolt up the ground. Just buying a bit of time and then corralled a bit. And that ball belted over the line for a boundary throw-in. So just for the moment, Carlton stopped in their tracks at 11 goals. Kicked 76 points so far tonight. They averaged 69 for the season last year.
Griffiths in front decisively down to Revolt. Ellis now Cotchin drives it towards the pocket. All Carlton down there. Everett was up, couldn't take the mark. Almost got a free and the ball runs out of bounds. Tigers by 10.
Richmond have put a stop to Cripps at this stage. Only one touch this quarter.
Some of those good players in the Carlton team carried a heavy load in the first half and paying for it now. Cruiser's kick goes out of bounds on the full. Hooley. About 60 metres out. He's going for distance. Taking something off it though. Setting it up about 20 metres out. Off hands. Chance for Tui. Still going Tui. Back to the goal square. Everett. They decide to take a risk. Fumble from Doherty. He's got 3 for company. All of them Tigers. Make that 4. Picked up by Griffiths. Gave it across to Martin. Beat 1. Beat 2. Needs a goal. Snaps it back towards full forward. It won't be that. But off hands and out of bounds. It's a stoppage for the Tigers. Deep in their attacking zone. And that was a virtuoso performance by that tough hombre.
It looked like Lee Matthews for a minute there. Just with a chest out and he just bounced off blokes.
Just Mark Prosciutto about him as well. He's just so strong.
Dismisses opponents.
Hope Lethal still talks to me. Cruiser working hard, getting the ball hopefully to the line. This would be an interesting call from the umpire.
Did he touch the ball before it went out? Still there, Brett.
So you just can't argue, can you? Because we know.
Well, much stronger interpretation. If you kick the ball to the boundary and it goes out, it's going to be paid.
Well, the SNFL this year are playing that with the last person touching it, obviously, with a handball or a kick, and it feels like that here tonight as Richmond can nearly finish it off here.
Well, big call on the boundary in the context of the game.
Left non-preferred, under pressure. Tough call.
Carlton.
It's going to be a free kick to Carlton down there after all of that. Taken by Everett in the back pocket. Not sure what happened there. We were back at the boundary line. Here's Jamison. Finds a hand pass. Any idea what happened, Bruce?
I'm not sure. Jack obviously didn't have a shot, which I can't believe.
There's Tui. Oh, and he's taken down. Shades of the WWE. Little Lambert. Produced a great tackle and just grabbed a foreign object. Took Tui to the turf.
Big last quarter from Kane Lambert. You mentioned those possessions before, Bruce, but that tackle, as important as all of those touches.
They were out down the ground too, Lingy. There was a loose number forward of the footy for Carlton. A really important tackle.
And Matty, we had our eye off Jack a moment ago. Did he short pass or not?
No, he played on, tried to wheel it around the corner, got the middle of the ball, and then Dustin Martin gave a free kick away in the pocket.
Thank God someone's watching.
Yeah, in the future, Rick, just
don't
pick
worry,
up the commentary.
I am watching very closely, boys.
You're feeling more comfortable or not?
No, I'm as anxious as any man's ever.
Lambert's been good since half-time. Prime mover, boundary throw in, Hampson. Cruiser comes from behind. Hampson won it cleanly. Lloyd pushes off, does well. Can he kick his third? Dangerous kick, but getting back, it's Everett. Time of the essence now. Carlton need to go. Here's Simpson. Simpson, the short one out wide. Wiedering. He's made a pretty good debut. Told to go. Kerridge. He's marked it. Left half back. 10 points the margin. Tigers lead. Kerridge makes a blue. Kicked it straight to Miniju. Miniju to Miles. Miles goes long and splits the middle. Well, that could just about be it. There's still time, but everything would need to go right now for Carlton. First things first, they'll need a quick goal back out of the middle. 16 points the difference. And it's been a good game of football.
For sure, Jim. Has Miles done the job on Cripps in the last quarter? I'm not sure. But
little moments of the key, just to the awareness to turn around, smother, give off the handball. Beautiful finish. Well done, Richmond. They've responded. It's been a tough night for them. Probably done enough now.
so Gibbs missing. Simpson now has to fetch it again. Gee, Lambert, I mean, we've talked a lot about his last quarter. Toe poking it away. Jamison. Back to Gibbs. Good tackle, Cotchin, but Gibbs able to get away. Cripps. Everett. Murphy. Running hard. A running bounce. Needed a rear vision mirror. One on the side. Good kick though, out wide. Sets it up. Curnow. This is the important kick. Finds his target. Buckley. That one extra kick here now. Buckley. Does he just set it up? Does he try and find Casbolt? Forced to go now. Coming back.
That's a kick. That's a kick. I did. I blew the whistle. High tackle, mate. You got him high.
So Buckley to start again. To fall forward. Phillips underneath. Casbolt missed it. And Hampson takes them up.
4.5 minutes, just a little under remaining in the contest. Hampson. Kicks have been rare. Puts this outside the defensive 50. Lost on. Hard body in there. Edwards trying to get it out. Didn't succeed. Good tackle by Rebo. All hands to the wheel.
He's played an important role in this last quarter, Jack. He's come up the ground, played on ball, got a couple of important touches.
Thrown up right on the 50 then. Gibbs looking for Murphy. Couldn't get it there. Cotchin. Close to the boundary. Stays in. They're appealing for deliberate. Well, there's a key ingredient of that decision, of course. Wiedering gives a hand pass across to Rowe. Rowe back to Simpson. Men on around the outer side. They need a goal and they need it quickly. Everett moves it on down towards left half forward. Bokhorst. He's about 70 metres out. Sends it long. It's got some carry. All Carlton back there. Casbolt missed it. Loose ball at the back. Well played by Ellis. Socked away by Walker. And Walker runs it out of bounds, but that's not good enough. Well, he's riding every bump and every missed mark is sort of taking its toll. And that's a terrific attendance. Over 75,000, 3.5 minutes out, and they've seen a good game. At the moment, it looks like the Tigers.
Phillips and Hampson. Gee, what a good kick from Bokhorst a moment ago. Andrews' kick. Lloyd's been a star in the last quarter. Wiedering gets him down. White. Gibbs to Search. Great play by Wiedering and White. And Gibbs, clever kick. Now Everett, does he take responsibility here? I think he's got the length.
He would with a fresh leg, Bruce, I agree. Definitely from there. See what the fatigue does to his kicking penetration.
31 goals last year. That's a good strike.
Oh.
It's a great goal. Carlton still with a little hope. Again, I mean, you look for Wiedering, he just competes very well, doesn't he?
He's very cool under pressure.
Yeah.
He doesn't panic at all and doesn't make too many mistakes.
They are still a chance here, you know.
Oh, yeah.
One good break out of the centre. They're going to sweat on Cripps here, I reckon, Rich, because if he gets the ball, the Blues are a chance here.
10 points the margin. Carlton still very much alive. Need some clean ball here out of the middle. It's been their forte tonight. Been able to move it quickly. It requires that now. Like Townsend had other ideas. Brilliant smother by Cripps on Lambert. Goes towards Simpson. Cripps could have been pushed to the back, no free. Simpson comes again. Emerges with the football. 1-on-1 inside the forward 50. Walker once, twice. Couldn't hang on. Asprey confronted by Bokhorst. Now it's gathered by Walker. Smothered off the boot by a desperate Ellis. Brandon Ellis throwing himself across the boot. And the ball spills out of bounds in that left full forward pocket. Spine-tingling stuff. Wonderful stuff by Ellis.
What about the contested footy down in the middle of the ground? It was fantastic, wasn't it? From both teams. Cripps was front and centre. Townsend's little kick. Cochin, Murphy, Ellis. Good tackle, Murphy. Wrapped him up, turned him around. And the ball up. So Carlton with time here. The goal here will put the wind up the Tigers, wouldn't it?
Got Cruiser forward, quick kick in. If they can get it there.
Cripps got a good handball away. Edwards, Gibbs, Edwards, Graham. Didn't take it cleanly. Paddles it. Kerridge held up pretty well. Graham slipped it out to Murphy. It was hot for Simpson. Kept his head over the ball. Free kick. Gee, Simpson, so courageous there.
Got to spare forward if they can get it in quick.
You see a man on the outer side calling for the ball. It's not going in that direction, but short to Graham. Some tired players now as Graham pumps it inside the forward 50. Off hands at the back, it's taken by Ellis. Hand passes straight to Kerridge. Across it comes to Lamb. Pulls it back across his body. They need a mark. Big leap down there from Everett. Crumbed by the man you didn't want crumbing. That was Phillips. Over the football is Rance. The man you want over the football. And he gave it to Hawley, who clears it back inside the centre square. Just over a minute to go, and this young man, Wiedering, is going to drive it in again. It's been a good debut. Carlton on the attack.
To full forward, big flies from the side. Casbolt amongst them. Cruiser doing the roving. Lamb, Morris. Lamb kept it in. Ball still a fair way from goal. Great courage shown there by Edwards. Ball still in dispute. Cripps goes for goal. And no, not quite. That would have been something. Geez, a player. But we knew that.
Even able to stand up and get that kick away.
Wiedering standing under a high ball and taking a contested mark. Patrick Cripps.
That's their future right there.
A lot to be excited about if you're a Blues fan. Might not get the chocolates tonight, but a great future ahead.
Hawley, inside defensive 50. It's all men go at it and the ball just rolls out of bounds. Well, I figure he can relax now, but what a test it's been for his men. They play on Friday night next week. Tossed in about 70 metres out from goal. Hanson got it down to Lambert. Cochin's quick kick over the shoulder. This won't be deliberate. Well, again, the requirement not met. Now the ball goes out of bounds. And we'll get a boundary throw in.
Silly, I know it's a cliche. We feel like two winners tonight. I mean, Richmond will get the win.
Maybe
I think
three.
for Carlton supporters.
The AFL with interchange.
Yeah, well, it's been a great game. Big crowd. The perfect way on the field to start the year. Lambert's last quarter has been probably a match winner, to be honest. Rowe, one last maybe kick in the match. The Tigers win the opening game before 75,000 people, but the Blues have made a little bit of a mark here. Yep, it's those boys that win, but they were in a great contest.